only real ally, Syria, is on the ropes. Do we want a distraction in which Iran can portray itself as a victim? Of course, the president is set to meet with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Washington on Monday. Iran is expected to be the topic of discussion. With us now, former intelligence officer for the Office of the Secretary of Defense, Mike Barrett. He's also a former director of strategy for the White House Homeland Security Council and is now the CEO of the security consulting firm Diligent Innovations. Nice to see you again. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Shep. How you doing?
I hadn't even thought about this concept that Iran would then be able to portray itself as a victim, but it would.
Well, that's right. I mean, really what's so troubling here is we're playing chess. So you've got Syrian issues, you've got the price of oil issues, you've got what's going to happen in Iraq and Afghanistan issues. All those things are coming into play. One of the two major pieces here are what we're discussing, which is this issue that it could be seen as a victim, and so you don't want to take aggressive action. But of course, the other thing that's happening is that basically Iran's playing out the clock. And so if they can get it to a certain point of development before there's a strike, then the strike might not be effective. And that's really the thing. You've heard Israel talking about lately, that there's this point kind of beyond which their weapons might not be effective, and then only the U.S. weapons would be effective. And of course, there's no guarantee even at that stage.
There's an effort, it would appear, maybe politically driven, I don't know, to make it seem as if the United States and Israel are not getting along so well these days. Is there any truth to that?
Well, there's certainly some personal friction between the two leaders, between Netanyahu and President Obama. That doesn't mean that they can't do business together. Not everybody has to get along in order to work together. So I think, that gets a little bit overplayed. It's nice if everyone gets along, but it's more important that they stick together and do the right things in terms of, dissuading the Iranians. But the real issue here actually is getting to the specificity of it. The U.S. says that we're not willing to accept an Iranian weapons program. Now, the difference here is that Israel is worried about Iran having nukes of any sort. If they have nuclear power, lesser enriched uranium, then they're concerned that obviously that's much closer on the path. The analogy I use is, if you think about it, if there's a house down the street that's on fire, I'm a little bit concerned, but if the house next door is on fire, I'm really concerned. And so you got to get into that definitional issue now with the U.S. saying no weapons program and Israel saying any program at all, anything that involves nuke. As soon as they can prove that they can use nuclear technology, that's really where the risk is for them.
Mike Barrett live with us from Washington. Mike, good to see you again. Thank you.